Well, I was going to start this with like different strokes for different folks, and maybe your website's a bit confusing. And generally, unfortunately, because you're a newer studio with very little under your belt, it's better to aim lower and work with cheaper engines and work your way up to AAA standard. And these types of general walking simulators, which are complicated in their own rights, are not really necessarily need incredibly good graphics, just a nice graphic and a vibe. It's a different kind of thing you need. It's a feeling, sort of. But yeah, I was going to say all that and just say that, look, it happens. You need to figure out what you're doing because gaming is a business. But then you find out he's a bit of a creep, and thinks just because it has a progressive message, then it deserves to be seen by everyone and get tons and tons of money. And it's like, yeah, no. Frankly, though, if you're interested, $60 is probably a reasonable asking price. The gaming art pipeline is very, very, very expensive. And I can see very expensive here. Everything looks like it's customly modeled and texture painted. And frankly, if you don't know, our toolkit for this type of thing is expensive. Maya is very expensive. It's the industry standard, and that's a monthly thing you have to pay for. And then there's this other thing called Substance Painter. If you want really, really nice effects like you have here with the cars, the buildings, and the world, and making everything look lived in a little bit, yeah, it's a lovely piece of technology. You have to pay for that too. I don't know if they're using like Photoshop or something, but it's a possibility as well, and that's a very expensive suite. And also the computers themselves have to be very high-end to run the Unreal Engine just by itself. But overall, yeah, just by getting tools alone and working on this project to begin with, it's very expensive and very hard work. And there are little quirks in the engine, like I find that the art pipeline is a shit to work with. And every single texture, when I was working with it, you have to make yourself. It's not like with Unity where you can just pop in a new texture, it's already got most of the stuff in there, and it's done. Same with Godot. But yeah, basically production is very, very expensive, which is okay if you've got like a AAA studio and you've got broader appeal to sell to people, but one of these small indie story things that might not resonate with everybody and become even more niche as, you know, not everybody can vibe with the same kind of walking simulator is gonna kind of set you back a lot. Also, there's a lighting guy and a lovely level designer, and I'm very proud of them both. They have made a beautiful work of art. From a subjective standpoint, it's probably very beautiful, and while I can't actually talk about the story because I've just been playing it in the background, I frankly don't think $60 is worth it for a walking simulator and a story that may not entirely gel with everybody. But yeah, I just thought people would take comfort in the knowledge that this is beautiful work. $60 is probably a reasonable asking price for it, but I would not recommend buying it. But if you want to take solace and comfort in the fact that it is very expensive, then yeah. I really don't know what the future of the studio holds. Anyway, later.